Alright, so walk around of my Bonafide SS127. As you can see, that's what it looks like. Took some drone videos of it earlier. I'll post with it. As you can see, I've added some things to it. It's kind of like a manual power pole. It's got an 8-foot rod with a handle on it. And then it's got a stainless steel tip on the end of it. And basically you just pull that rope, pull it up, and then to lock it back in place, you just pull it back and put it in that right there. To let it down, you just pull it out of that cleat and let go of the rope. Haven't really did anything to it, or done anything to it, I should say. Those right there from one objective, they basically delete the handle that's there and make it so you can add attachments to it, like I added that right there. The handle's still there. It just makes this area where you can mount things to it. You can mount gear track to it. You know, whatever. Sky's the limit. The only other thing I've added to it was there's a cup holder over there from Yak Attack. And then inside here I got the tray. And the tray comes out so you can access the inside of the hole. Waterproof, totally waterproof. Once this lid is down, no water's getting in there. I've been out with a friend being pulled behind a solo skiff, water coming over the bow, and had camera equipment in here, drone, nothing's gotten wet. These open up. You know, you can open it this way, or you can latch these clips and unlatch these clips, and then it'll open this way also. So that's kind of cool. It's got a paddle holder right there. It came with the tray down there under the seat. The seat height is like sitting on a well-worn couch, is what I tell people. It's probably the most comfortable kayak seat I've sat in, besides like sitting in a PA seat or something like that that's tall. I'm sure you've heard Chad Hoover talk about it. I mean, basically it's like sitting in a chair when you go to get out of it. Easy to stand up in. You don't need an assist strap or anything like that. On this side I also have one of the one objective plates, and this one I got with gear track because I thought I was going to put that cup holder right here, but for the way I paddle I was always hitting it. So I ended up just moving the cup holder back to there. So haven't really put anything here. I don't really use a whole lot of cameras when I go out. I just use a hat with a camera mounted on top. So right now the seat's in the high position. It comes with these little keepers back here. This is to keep the, if you don't have those little keepers on there, what happens is when you sit in the seat and start moving around, this will fold under. And then it's kind of wonky, because then it's like sitting in a recliner. So if you keep these on here, this keeps that seat bar pulled back, and you don't have to worry about that problem. The seat's adjustable right there. Back here I got the black pack, and this clips, they come with it, with the Bonafide, and you just reach up here and clip it in like so, and it ain't going anywhere. It's a little tight, but I assure you it's not going to move. It's got tons of geared track on it. Got this one on this side, and on the other side it's the same thing. It's got an access port for the back, so you can get in there and wire stuff up. You can, it's got padding on the deck back here behind the seat. It's got padding right here, so if you want to stand and sight fish on that, you can. It'll just raise you up off the floor, you know, 6 inches or so. As you can see, it's got all the deck padding on there. This is what it looks like. I just got done fishing yesterday out of it, so I just pulled it out of the back of my truck and set it on the ground. It's got the aluminum rails for the foot pegs that are, you can see how adjustable it is. Super easy to adjust them. It's got gear track on that side and this side, along with geared track right there. That's about it. The pros: seat sits high. The way the box sits back there and the way I have it rigged out, it's fairly easy to get your reels and rods in and out without too much work. So like I said, it's easy to stand up in. Everything's easy and accessible to get to. It came with those scupper plugs, I believe. It came with 2 scupper plugs, or it might have been 4. There might be some under the black pack, but I can't remember. We could look. But it's like, this is easy to take off. You just pull up on these. Grab the black pack, and out it comes. Yeah, there's no, I think it just came with the 2 scupper plugs, and that was it. This power pole, manual power pole box thing, I make these. That's an add-on. That plate is a 3/4 inch starboard. It's not going anywhere. The 4 holes were already there. They're made for a you know, power pole mount. There's a handle back here to grab onto. I also installed the the wings. Without the wings, it's hard to keep this thing straight when you're paddling. It's like paddling a paddleboard without fins. It's not fun. If you have a rudder, that's one thing, but I don't use a rudder because of this box. Obviously, you can see why. But without those wings there, it's a little tricky keeping it straight. You can do it, but why fight it? Then there's also a handle in the front. It's stationary. It doesn't fold down like the one in the back. The pod comes out. Like that. You can mount your transducer to the bottom. You open it up, it's totally waterproof. And you can store stuff in there like I got. Once you latch it down, it's not coming back out. The nice thing about it is you can mount your transducer on the bottom when you're getting ready to get out, or you know, land on shore. You can just pick that whole thing out of there. That way you're not messing up your electronics and stuff, scraping up your transducer. That's no fun. So like I said, the pros: easy to stand, seat sits high, tons of I wouldn't say tons of tackle storage. It's just convenient tackle storage. Under the seat, you can put plano boxes, whatever. You know, you can put your crates, your black packs, whatever you want back there, cooler. Up front, you can put rain gear. You can put fishing poles inside the hole. You can put, there's room for drones, camera equipment, everything. I got a big backpack I usually stick in there. Cons. Oh, the cons. It's not really too many. It's kind of it's not made for long distance paddling. I fish over on the Nature Coast here in Florida, which is Crystal River, Yankeetown, Ozello, Homosassa, Chaskawitzka, wildlife area. You know, that's those areas there, once you get to an area and then you want to go somewhere else, it's not a fast paddle by any means. So if you get this, be aware that, you know, I'm 260, so it's you know, all that weight when everything's rigged and loaded, plus your body and all that, it gets to be a little heavy, so it's not exactly skimming through the water. It doesn't float. Draft is probably about 4 inches, depending on the weight, how you have it loaded, how heavy you are, your weight. But for me, it's about 4 inches. And after that, I got to get out and walk, which is generally no big deal. But I'd rather be sitting and paddling versus walking and dragging this thing behind me. I'll flip it over here in a minute and show you what it looks like underneath. See some of the damages I've done to it. That's what that looks like. There's the bottom of the where you mount the transducer to the box. So there's plenty of room there. So it's got a few scrapes. Nothing too terribly bad. I mean, I do fish around oyster bars and stuff like that, so that's to be expected. You're gonna get that no matter what you do. But surprisingly, it's not that bad, because I have scraped some oyster bars and went, ooh, that's gonna hurt. But it's the first time I've looked at it on the bottom since I've had it, so it's really not that bad. It doesn't leak, and that's all that counts. So, and this is the bottom side of that plate, and that's how I attach. I drilled a hole through the rod, 1/4 20, slid that through there, and then I tightened it down with a wing nut. Nothing special. You can build all that yourself for a little over 60 bucks. That's including getting the pole, the hardware, everything. Getting the pole, hardware, and everything, probably $70. Easy to make. The box is a 4x4 J box is what they call it, I think. That's a little tough to get, but if you go to an electrical supply house, they'll have that box. Home Depot does not carry that box. They carry a short version, the 4x4 by 4-inch version, which there's nothing wrong with that, but I like the taller box for the rod. It's just more stable. It sits there better. And the plate, like I said, it's 3/4 inch starboard. That's the most important piece, because when you let this down in the water and you're in tide flow, depending on how fast the tide's moving, when you drop that down, you don't want that plate to break. It's not pretty, and you don't want it to come off. So, like I said, that's 3/4 inch starboard. That's not some Walmart cutting board or something like that. I would suggest not using cutting board, it'll break. Maybe if you're just, you know, cruising around your local ponds, that would work. But being where the tide moves constantly and it's incoming and outgoing real fast, I would highly suggest not using a cutting board. It will break. And when you're in 8 foot of water and the tide's moving and everything back here is broken and hanging on by a thread, it's not fun. Or if your screw comes out down there, you have no way of getting your pole up. That means you got to jump out and pull it up and reattach it. So what I did was, I have that one there, and down here in the handle I put a spare, just in case something happens to that one up front. But I think that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on YouTube, and I'll answer them as best as I can. Like I said, this is a Bonafide SS127. I've had it now for about, I don't know, 4 months, 3 months, somewhere around there. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe if you like the video, and I'll talk to you later.